Welcome to the Grief Guardian podcast. I'm your host, Grant Cosgrove. During this podcast series, I will be guiding you through the hardest journey, life after loss, empowering resilience, healing, and hope one step at a time. Welcome to the Grief Guardian podcast. Today, we're talking about something that doesn't get enough airtime after child loss: intimacy. Not just sex, but closeness, touch, safety, and emotional connection. This topic matters because grief doesn't just live in the heart or the mind, it lives in the body. And when a child dies, intimacy is often one of the first things to disappear and one of the hardest things to talk about. Before we go further, I want to say this clearly. If intimacy has changed in your relationship since your loss, you're not broken, you're human. I'm going to share parts of our story today, not because ours is special, but because it's honest. And honesty helps people feel less alone. Physical and emotional intimacy is the sense of closeness, safety, and connection between two people. After the loss of a child, both often collapse at the same time. Emotionally, couples may grieve differently. One may want to talk, the other may shut down. Physically, the body may feel numb, guarded, or unsafe. Touch can feel overwhelming, pointless, or even painful. And when medical trauma is involved, intimacy doesn't just fade, it gets interrupted. After child loss, intimacy struggles can look like avoiding physical touch, even non-sexual touch, feeling disconnected or emotionally distant from your partner, sex feeling mechanical, uncomfortable, or emotionally empty, guilt around desire or the lack of it, fear that things will never return to normal. And here's the part people don't say out loud. Sometimes intimacy doesn't just feel hard, it feels impossible. For us, grief wasn't the only factor. After we lost Mia, Saroeun developed necrosis on the uterine wall. An infection set in, and the doctors worked hard with medication to try to clear it. Eventually, they had to make the call to remove her uterus. Her ovaries were left intact, but that didn't make the road ahead easier. She went through major surgery. Recovery wasn't quick, it wasn't neat, and it wasn't just physical. We were told no sex for at least 3 months, and when we were finally able to try, it wasn't pleasant for her. There was pain, discomfort, fear, and a body that no longer felt the same. That kind of experience changes how intimacy feels. It turns something that used to be natural into something that feels risky. Add grief on top of that, and you're dealing with loss layered on loss. This kind of situation can break couples apart, and many relationships do end here, not because people don't love each other, but because neither knows how to bridge the gap. There were moments where it could have gone that way for us, but something else happened. Instead of forcing intimacy, we slowed it right down. Instead of measuring closeness by sex, we focused on safety. Instead of assuming, we talked. Sometimes awkwardly, sometimes badly, but we talked. And that changed everything. Here's what helped us and what I've seen help others. 1. Redefine intimacy. Intimacy isn't just sex, it's sitting together, holding hands, sleeping near each other, feeling emotionally seen. 2. Remove timelines. There is no schedule for getting back to normal. Pressure kills connection faster than grief ever could. 3. Respect the body's story. After trauma, the body needs safety before desire. Always. 4. Talk about the hard parts. Silence creates stories that aren't true. Speak them out, even if your voice shakes. 5. See this as a shared path, not a personal failure. This isn't one partner's issue. It's something you move through together. Because of what Saroeun went through, and because of the support we had to navigate it, something unexpected happened. Our bond didn't weaken, it strengthened. Not because it was easy, but because we stayed present. If intimacy has changed in your relationship since losing your child, it doesn't mean love is gone. It means grief is doing what grief does. Rebuilding intimacy isn't about going back. It's about learning how to meet each other where you are now. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might need to hear it. And if you're walking this road yourself, know this: connection is still possible, even if it looks different than before. You're not failing, you're healing. Thanks for joining me on the Grief Guardian podcast. I'll see you in the next episode. If you enjoyed this content, please follow me on my socials. You can find me on Facebook as The Grief Guardian and on Instagram as Grant_A_Cosgrove, or by searching for The Grief Guardian. I'll include the links in the show notes. Feel free to reach out and connect with me or leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and questions. Are there any topics you'd like me to cover?